Hey guys, we are going to go into day 2 of our financial literacy. Here are some of the things we're going to be covering today: credit, establishing credit, importance of positive credit, and credit reports. So some vocabulary words for us. Credit is the ability to obtain money, property, or services with a promise to repay. Credit history is information most often included in a report about how people pay their bills. So a couple things that you need to know is establishing credit. To be able to establish credit, you can do a number of these things. You can get a credit card or a small loan. You can pay bills on time, and then creditors submit positive information about accounts in good standings. So why is it important to establish a positive credit history? It can help you get a good job, obtain a mortgage of a house or home, get a landlord approval for a home or an apartment, pay lower interest on borrowed money, borrow money for a car loan or a purchase, get credit cards with higher limits, and get loans for large purchases. So what is a credit report? A credit report is a summary of a person's financial history that includes personal information, financial information, and employment information. There are there's lots of credit bureaus or businesses that keep track of people's credit, and the 3 largest credit reporting bureaus are Expedient, TransUnion, and Equifax. So what information is included in a credit report? Personal information, your name, your current address, previous addresses, your social security number, date of birth, your employment history, your current employment, previous employment, like all of your jobs, the date started and current status. Are you employed, unemployed? All that kind of stuff. Credit history is also in your credit report. The account information, good, poor, standing, on-time payments, late payments, balances, date opens, how long have you had different credit cards and different loans and other things like that. And also like public records like judgments or liens. Liens are when you owe something on like a house or a car or something like that. So what information is not included on a credit report? Money borrowed from family members, medical records, education records, everyday payments made with cash, check, or debit cards. Those aren't included in your credit report. So quick question, would the personal/business report this information to a credit report? None of this would be reported on a credit report. Yeah. So how long does information stay on a credit report? So positive information, 10 years after the account closes. So if you have an account for 5 years and you're paying it off for 5 years, after it closes, it stays on your credit report for 10 years after it closes. And most negative information, like if you have a late payment or something like that, that will stay on your credit report for 7 years from the initial report. Chapter 7, bankruptcy, that stays on there for 10 years. Chapter 13 is 7 years. Those are 2 different types of bankruptcies that people can claim or file. And then public records up to 10 years. So judgments are 7 years from the file date. So your credit score. So these credit bureaus or these businesses that handle credit reports, they actually get a number or a grade to your credit report, and that's what it is. So a credit report is a summary of a person's financial history that includes personal information, financial information, and employment history, or employment information, like we've been saying. What they do is they use all of that information to come up with a credit score. A credit score is based on your credit history, also called a FICO score. So a high credit score would come from you doing this: paying bills on time, long, steady employment, low debt-to-income ratio. What that means is you make more than you owe, is what that means. No public records. As debts and negative items get older, the credit score will increase. So if you've had a credit card for a really long time, that can be a positive thing on your credit score. Low credit score are things that can affect your score in a negative way. If you have late payments, if you've been turned into collections, If you have judgments, high credit card balances, applying for lots of credit, and then high debt-to-income ratio. Low credit scores lead to higher interest rates, denial of credit, denial of housing, denial of employment. Denial just means that you don't get approved for it. Finding your debt-to-income ratio, you would add all of your monthly bills and then divide the sum by how much you get monthly, and that's your debt-to-income ratio. You would multiply that quotient by 100 to find the percent. So that is just a quick little summary about credit, establishing credit, and then credit reports. There you go.